Previously on World of Warcraft.
Then came Illidan, the one they call the Betrayer, the enemy of my enemy.
Magtheridon lures scores of hapless demons through them daily.
Then we must seal them permanently.
We helped him seal the portals of Outland and cut off the Legion's reinforcements. We fought with renewed strength, and together we reclaimed our sacred ground. I think part of me knew, even then, that the Black Temple had only traded one evil master for another. I prefer to remember the temple as it used to be, not the abomination it has become. My soul bears the burden of my misjudgment, but I have been patient. I have been waiting, and when the time is right, the betrayer will become the betrayed.
To set the scene a little bit from last week, we watched the story of, what was last week? The story of Illidan. But we also did Warlords of Draenor the week before that with Garrosh. To set the scene, in Garrosh they went to an alternate Draenor back in time, 20 years prior, where they found Gul'dan. And as a result of Warlords of Draenor, Gul'dan gets pretty much teleported to the present day Azeroth. So originally Gul'dan died, and now past Gul'dan is in the present, and that sets the scene for World of Warcraft Legion. That's pretty much all you need to know from that end. If you want to learn about what happened in Warlords of Draenor, we could do that as a separate thing. It's a really interesting story with amazing characters. But that's pretty much all you need to know to carry over. Everything else stays the same because it's in present day Draenor, but just keep that in mind. Past Gul'dan is in the present.
Swear loyalty to me. Pledge the hearts of your people to my cause. I will transform you, granting you knowledge beyond imagining and might beyond measure. Together we will become Legion and defeat the hungering void that would consume us all.
It is little enough to ask for what he offers us. Such power, and he speaks the truth.
I had hoped the others would sense the darkness behind Sargeras' words, but they were blinded by their vanity, their hunger for power. The Atamar crystal soon showed me the horrible truth of what would come to pass if we accepted the Titan's offer. We would be transformed, not into wise leaders, but into hateful monsters. Gul'dan is turned against us. No. It cannot end like this. Take the others and go, Prophet. We will buy you time.
Harpoon! You do not have to do this!
Please, keep my family safe.
Hooray! Hellcast!
I will hunt you across the stars, traitor! Even if it takes 1,000 years!
to give a little bit of context as to what happened there, you're looking at the past. This is before the Draenei landed on Azeroth. As we know, in one of the expansions, the Draenei did land and they became a playable race, as did the Blood Elves in the Burning Crusade, and that is pretty much when Velen flees his planet using the Exodar, which is a giant spaceship, as you saw, to fly to Azeroth. And as you could see, Kil'jaeden used to also be one of the High Draenei, who was corrupted by, oh my god, what? I forgot his name. The Titan Sargeras. As you can see, becomes red and very angry. So that's what you're pretty much seeing.
Praise to the goddess. She has blessed us this night with new life. The birth of not one, but 2 healthy males.
2?
The Storm Rage twins.
Beautiful, nearly identical, except for...
That one, his eyes are golden.
Indeed. The child is destined for a great and prosperous future. His name is Illidan.
Illidan, your anger is misplaced. I have not insulted you.
You have cast me out, Cenarius.
No. You may remain here, but I will no longer be your teacher. If you wish to continue studying the wilds, you may do so with your brother.
So I must learn from a novice instead of a master?
You must learn respect. Malfurion will become the first ruler, because he is a dedicated student. You are not. To walk this path requires sacrifice, Illidan. Something you have yet to understand.
Brother.
Behold the Legion's power. No matter how hard this world fights, it will fall.
Our eyes deceive us. The army that marches on Azeroth is but a whisper of the Legion's true strength. Beyond this army is another, and another, and another. Even if we defeat them here, it will mean nothing. We are doomed. Unless we find another way to fight them. And I will find that way.
You were not prepared. The enemy came into our world. Their only desire to extinguish all life. They slaughtered our loved ones. They razed our homes, our cities, and our sacred places. You tried to stop them, and you failed. And so you came to me. Nothing remaining of you but rage and determination. And you learned that the things that once tormented you could give you power. Now you see that there is no sacrifice too great if it brings an end to the Burning Legion.
But... Lord Illidan... Demonic energies course through our veins. They gnaw at our every thought. What makes us any different from the monsters we fight?
You question the Master.
We will not sit idly like those on Azeroth, waiting to become the demon's prey. We will take this war to the Legion's worlds and prey upon them!
Attack the Doom Lord Asgarth in his own domain. Your mission has failed. Your cause dies with them. Well.
Never.
You wish to know the difference between the demons and us. They will stop at nothing to destroy our world.
And we will sacrifice everything to save it.
The Legion will know of this victory, and they will fear you, my Illidari. Now, you are prepared!
And a really cool thing is that they played this video before World of Warcraft Legion released, and in Legion you could play as a Demon Hunter, which was a new class that was released similar to the Death Knights that were released in Wrath of the Lich King. So as you can imagine, everybody was very hyped to play as
I'm
one.
also a Demon Hunter man.
Yeah, and many people jumped on that bandwagon. I did the same as soon as World of Warcraft Legion came out. A lot of people continued playing their characters and continued the storyline in present day, whereas a lot of people play Demon Hunter, and like the Death Knights in Wrath of the Lich King, you have to do a series of quests before you get access to playing in the wider world of Azeroth. So you got to sacrifice a little to get a little bit of the story before you get into the main campaign. But it's a really good campaign. Unfortunately, we have a lot of the cutscenes in this video, so you won't really miss out on the story from it. But it's really good. It gives context to the events that happened prior, which, of course, from last week's stream, are going to be very good for you. Shadow Priest. Oh man, Demon Hunter mobility is insane.
Illidari. My Demon Hunters. With countless worlds burning in the Legion's wake, you answered the call. Yet these mortals in their ignorance have come to destroy their own salvation. Our time is short. I will deal with these intruders. You must venture to Mardoom and retrieve the Sargerite keystone. Now go, but remember, should you fail, all worlds will burn.
And as you can imagine, this is happening during the raid on the Black Temple in Burning Crusade, where, as we know, what happened to Illidan. So again, context.
This is when he looked down, he can see the entire Alliance and Horde groups as they're progressing through it. That would be the courtyard. Right below it, where I believe they're probably fighting through the orcs to face on the Infernal, which stood in front of the gate.
Yeah, that's completely downstairs. Alright, let's continue.
Your duplicity is hardly surprising. I should have slaughtered you and your malformed brethren long ago.
We've come to end your reign, my people.
Can I just point out that this little fucking gnome has a glaive of Azeroth? Could you imagine being Illidan and being like, you finally... Wait. What is... What? Time travel's a bitch!
And all of Outland shall be free.
Boldly said, but I remain unconvinced. I will not be touched by a rabble such as you. Behold the flames of Azeroth! Who shall be next to taste my blades? Is this it, mortals? Is this all the fury you can muster?
Their fury pales before mine, Illidan. We have some unsettled business between us.
Maiev, how is it even possible?
My long hunt is finally over. Today, justice will be done.
Sayana, Jace, Allari, find the keystone. Now.
Yeah, go quick.
Okay, so for those who do not know, this one thing I love about that whole Illidan thing, you actually get to play as Illidan, and all those NPCs you actually have to fight, so you actually get to play as Illidan instead of the Raiders, which is amazing. As if you ever get a chance to play it, go play that for yourself. There's so much things they're not showing you. It's one of the best things they've ever added in this game.
Let's see about activating that gateway.
And this is part of the quest line that you play as the Demon Hunter. This is your starting zone. This is where you learn how to use your abilities.
There are demon hunters on my world, Doom Commander. This is unacceptable.
My Eridar are summoning in more demons to attack them from behind, Your Highness.
Do not let them enter the volcano. The key to the Legion's worlds must not fall into their hands, Beliash.
I will personally deal with their leader, my...
See that you do.
Lord Illidan has fallen.
Illidari! Avenge the Master! You bear the mark of his corruption.
So the demon's blood within you will be your prison! Take them to the vault. There they shall be with the betrayer. Forever.
No one living has heard of the village of my birth.
Pathetic wretch! Long have you refused your place in this clan. Now, we rid ourselves of your filth once and for all.
Get it over with.
Oh, even now you test me!
Enough! I have tried to help him find his place among us. I failed. Gul'dan, there's nothing more I can do for you. But no, I have always believed there is greatness within you. Seek out the throne of the elements. Perhaps there you will find your destiny.
Begone, cripple! You are cast out. In the wastes, you will understand what it means to have no people.
From childhood, my deformity made me a target for mockery and dismissal. I knew I was meant for more than the clan would ever allow of me, and I hated them for it. But after months, alone and starving, I began to consider that the safety and shelter of a clan might be better than endless suffering. The bitterness that had sustained me all my life ate at me until nothing was left. In my weakness, the words of the old shaman pierced the cold.
Seek out the throne of the elements.
There, humbled and broken, I offered myself in the service of whatever would end my anguish. The elements abandoned me. But in their absence, other voices whispered. They had come to me return, I would become the harbinger of their fury. Gul'dan.
How dare you return here? You may never rejoin your people.
My people? I have no people! Never again grovel for a place in this world. Instead, I would forge a world that would grovel before me. Thank you. I found my destiny. No one living has heard of the village of my birth. And no one ever will.
Andranor. Old rivals sought to bring Azeroth to its knees. And while the Iron Tide was quelled, they were but servants of a more ancient foe that has not forgotten our defiance. The vengeance of the Burning Shadow has come.
The time has come, Cortana. Prove your loyalty.
Anudorini Tala.
The Legion has broken the seal! Quickly, sisters! Defend the vault! Lady Maiev, we need you!
There is something I must do first. Illidari. I've spent my entire life as Keeper of the Wicked. Thousands of years, my only solace, knowing the world is kept safe from your kind. But I would do anything to save Azeroth. Even if it means releasing you. Will you help us, Demon Hunter?
Illidan's Storm Rage. At last, I meet the great betrayer.
So he is the key to Azeroth's downfall.
Soon, the body is cold, but his soul is not done fighting. We have work to do before he is ready.
Hurry then. The Wardens are coming with the Illidari in tow.
Ooh, they are desperate. Illidan, now you belong to the Legion.
Cordana! You will answer to the High Council for this!
Judge me all you like, sister, but you cannot stop us.
You are too late, Warden. This vault will be your tomb.
Demon Hunters, you have to survive. Find the one named Archmage Khadgar. You can trust him. Illidan is still my charge!
Now, to give a little bit of context on the Broken Shore before we hop into it. Broken Shore is a scenario at the beginning of the quest chain or the war campaign or whatever you want to call it of the expansion. It is effectively ground zero for the demon invasion on Azeroth. Now, you play this particular scenario either from the standpoint of the Horde or the Alliance, both of which have their own objectives in this particular campaign, but they're both working together. And a very interesting part will come up a little bit later, so I'm going to get that ready on the end. But just bear in mind that both the Horde and Alliance have their task on this campaign. But they are working together after the last expansion.
For we stand once more upon the brink of destruction. The Burning Legion has returned.
My son, a terrible darkness has returned to our world. As before, it seeks to annihilate everything that we hold dear. I go to face it, knowing I may not return.
They're coming! They're coming back!
All my life I have lived by the sword. I've seen kingdoms burn, and watched brave heroes die in vain. It's been difficult for me to trust after losing so much. But from you, I have learned patience, tolerance, and faith.
Open fire!
Anduin. I now believe, as you do, that peace is the noblest aspiration. But to preserve it, you must be willing to fight. For Azeroth!
Many of them.
Hold fast, Alliance! We will not fall this day! Push them back to the portal!
It's no invasion force. That's an army.
Knock your arrows! Hold! Fire!
They're retreating! I get the feeling this fight isn't over yet.
Varian, I found him! Look, across the chasm! Tyrion!
All forces, to Jaina!
There be retreating!
This was too easy. Something's wrong.
There, across the chasm, Gul'dan! He has Tyrion.
All the Horde! Get to throne!
Now, before we play this one, I like this video that it has all the cinematics, but I don't think they did this properly. To give context, you've got Sylvanas that basically says something's wrong, this was too easy. Now, this is a cinematic that plays for both factions, but they get different viewpoints of what plays. And it's effectively divided the community. When this happened, for a period of several months, you pretty much had the Horde and the Alliance at each other's throats. I think it's a good opportunity to look at the cinematic from the Alliance point of view, experience it in all its fullness, and then look at the Horde one, instead of watching them together.
One thing.
Yeah, without telling too much.
I just want to say, if you want an example of how the community was, just go look at Ninja Kuma's early Legion videos and watch as he yells at everybody every time something comes up about anything that happened.
Yeah. The Alliance players were just basically bombing our streams. Alright, let's watch the Alliance point of view.
Victory is ours! Hold fast! Mekator! We finish this now! Call in the gunship!
Way ahead of you, sir! Transangulating our positions right now!
Get it! Get it! My lord! Push forward! And get Windrunner's archers to clear the skies!
No, she wouldn't.
I knew it! I knew we couldn't trust her! Without the Horde, we'll be overrun! We must retreat!
Get everyone to the gunship.
Everyone, fall back!
Take this to my son.
You will be remembered as the king who sacrificed his life for nothing.
For the Alliance.
That scene's got so much in it. But to give you a little bit of context, for the week or two after this happened, outside the main gates of the Horde capital city were a bunch of fucking Alliance trying to camp any Hordes going outside. There were so many of them pissed. Twitter was just anti-Horde left, right, and center. The forums were anti-Horde left, right, and center. And I was just sort of sitting there going, hang on. Did you guys fucking see what happened? And they're like, yeah, we saw what... No, let me finish. We saw what happened. And I was like, did you get the full picture? And they didn't. They haven't seen it, by the way, so don't spoil it. But another thing I want to mention, and you will notice this on second viewing, which you're about to get. Varian is the last one to get on the gunship. He was pretty much the first one on land, one of the first people on land, and he was the last one to get on the gunship. This is a very, very old thing that used to be done by wartime leaders that were actually leaders. These were the people that would eventually become king. They were the warriors of the, monarchy. Yeah. They weren't the guys sitting behind high walls ordering troops. They were on the front line. If you want a great example, look at, Aragorn in Lord of the Rings, or Theoden in Return of the King when he's in the front of the charge. That's the sort of thing, which is amazing. Okay, make your point, but don't spoil it.
I'm gonna make my point after you watch the hard one.
Now, like I mentioned, the Horde had their own cutscene, had their own mission, but you get to see something a little bit differently.
fight this day. Without the Horde, we'll be overrun! We must retreat!
Get everyone to the gunship.
Everyone! Fall back!
Take this to my son.
You will be remembered as the king who sacrificed his life for nothing.
For the Alliance.
To give context as to how many portals and demons there were on the Horde side, when I played it, the portals just keep opening. And at one point, I literally... Matt, no one can hear you. You're on mute. And on one point, I literally jump in, and there's so many demons that the computer starts lagging. I start using a directional attack that hits every target within range, and the computer started lagging. There were hundreds, and they just kept spawning and spawning and spawning before the cutscene kicks in. Yep, go quick. Go, go, go.
Okay, sorry. So here's how I played Alliance for most of the time. All until recently. Kuma played Horde. This is what we got from the Alliance perspective. Savannah Windrunner, who is, by the way, is so much hated by the Alliance, it's not even funny. This is the woman who did so many atrocities to the Alliance, we don't trust her. And here we see, what was the final thing we see? Varian dying. And the Horde left him to die there. That's all we saw. Yeah, why wouldn't you? Blizzard did this because they wanted the Alliance and Horde to get at each other, so, and it worked. Kuma knows the full wrath of it because he thought it. But from an Alliance perspective, our king's dead. And Sylvanas is now Warchief.
Oh, you guys didn't get to you guys didn't get to find out about that part until a little bit later. But yeah, it was. And by the way, what did I say about spoiling? The fun part was that you actually get to do leveling on this island later, and because there were both factions there, they would end up killing each other. So instead of doing quests to defeat the Legion invasion, they were too busy killing each other. So yeah, you could work together, right, and not fight each other. Or, you know, if someone from the Alliance is trying to attack an elite mob, you as a Horde could just as easily attack the elite mob and help them. But instead, they started backstabbing each other, and as you can imagine, it slowed down progress significantly. So it proved the point of, can they really work together?
Yeah, I apologize for the spoiler, but from a standpoint of, that's why there was the Blizzard did this on purpose. They wanted the Alliance and Horde at each other's throat. They wanted it, and it worked because the Alliance saw this and said, "See, we told you Sylvanas was evil, but you're like, no."
All right, so enough being triggered about Sylvanas. Continuing on.
Windrunner, come forward.
Warchief.
The lower spirits say death will claim me soon.
In the end, death claims us all. But the Horde will live on.
I have never trusted you. Nor would I have ever imagined in our darkest time that you would be the one to save us. The spirits have granted me clarity, a vision. They whisper a name. Many will not understand. But you must step out of the shadows and lead. You must be Warchief.
Vol'jin is dead. Who among you will help me avenge him?
Little thing that a lot of people don't realize during this cutscene, shortly after, because this is a quest in the game, if you go to this area and you go towards a few boulders, there is actually a human spying on the funeral. And if you talk to him, you realize that during Mists of Pandaria, when Vol'jin got stabbed, when there was a assassination attempt by Garrosh's assassin to kill Vol'jin, he was injured, and he was pretty much nursed back to health in the temple by the Pandaren. At that same temple was a human that was being nursed back to health, and as you can imagine, Vol'jin being a troll, member of the Horde, the human being a member of the Alliance, they were at each other's throats. But a little cool thing that happened was the Shah actually attacked the temple, and both Vol'jin and the human actually worked together to save the temple, and as a result they ended up becoming comrades and eventually friends. And then they realized very quickly during Myths of Pandaria that their friendship wouldn't be able to last, being members of the opposing factions, especially when Garrosh's horde was, pretty much killing everyone they could. He was practically Hitler at that point. And they sort of made a promise to each other that whoever dies first, the other would attend the person's funeral, no matter what. And they knew the risks involved, because 20 meters away, you've pretty much got the Horde's elite guards, new war chief, everyone there just waiting to kill Alliance should it happen. And you've got this guy hiding in between the rocks at his friend's funeral. It's very touching. It's these little details that are just phenomenal in the game. And this is part of the Demon Hunter campaign, as you are able to see who the demons are, whereas normal people cannot because your eyes have the gift. So you can basically see demons which are hiding amongst members of the Horde, which are trying to assassinate Sylvanas. Same thing happens with demons trying to assassinate Anduin in the king's chamber. Oh yeah, Sylvanas is a great character. Her character development from Warcraft 3 is phenomenal. She's one of the key characters.
Once again, the Burning Legion has returned. Stronger, more determined than ever before. I venture to Karazhan on a mission of desperation.
Just for the people that don't know, Karazhan is the tower where Medivh, who was the protector, or I think he was the archmage, I forget what he was called, the guy that was over, he's basically the Kami of Azeroth. He's the guy that helped Gul'dan open the gate for the Orc invasion to come in the first time around, and he was a very, very powerful archmage. The Guardian, yes, an extremely powerful archmage, but of course, evil as fuck at a certain point.
Show yourself.
My apprentice returns. It is good to see you again, Khadgar.
Medivh? How?
My spirit is bound to this tower.
Yes, of course. Medivh, there is so much I need.
You look terrible, old friend. Why have you come here?
The Burning Legion invades again. I come seeking the knowledge you kept here. Anything that can help me stand against them.
Defeating the Legion this time will take more than some spell, I'm afraid. You came seeking knowledge. What you need is a weapon.
I don't understand.
You defeated me when I was consumed by fell madness, but you never took the next step toward your destiny. It is time Azeroth had a guardian once again.
A guardian? After your failings, it was decided that none could resist the temptation of such power. We don't need a guardian, Medivh.
Then I ask again, why are you here? If not a guardian, if not you, then who can stop the approaching storm? If you cannot embrace your fate, then all you have accomplished, all you have sacrificed, will have been for nothing.
Even if I said yes, none now remain to bestow the powers of a guardian upon me.
I remain. I knew this day would come. Before my death, I imbued this tome with an echo of my essence. Open it. Absorb its energies as your own.
No, I cannot. I should not.
The fate of Azeroth rests in your hands, Khadgar. Accept your desires. Show the Legion the true might of a Guardian. Be honest with yourself, if not with me. Destined for this.
Oh, it is true. I have thought about becoming the Guardian every day. Even now, I desire it. I've yearned for the Legion to cringe before the fury I would unleash. And that is why I can never accept your offer. Be the Legion's pawn, and this tower will not be its den! I came to Karazhan seeking knowledge. What I found was a reminder that no single person, not even a Guardian, can stand against the Legion alone. As before, we must band together, united, for Azeroth.
To give a little bit of context into the Pillars of Creation, you can think of them as tools or very powerful weapons that were used to create the, what's it called? The, oh my god, Kuma. English, please. English, molinte. To create, Matt, help me out here. My English is totally fucked. They're essentially incredibly powerful artifacts that were used to
what are we talking about? Pillars of Creation?
Pillars of Creation. They're artifacts, insanely powerful ones that will help to create Azeroth and make it what it is.
Okay, so Pillars of Creation are objects of immense power. Each of them are different pillars. Each of them is different origin. They're immensely old and very immensely powerful. These things, I don't know anything from any other media that I can compare them to. Just know they're very old and very powerful. Each is held by a certain person or individual. Because
a good comparison
like the Infinity Stone, don't keep them all in one place.
Basically,
not a good idea.
Basically, think of one of them as powerful as the One Ring in Lord of the Rings.
They're like Infinity Stone. There we go. I just described it for the rest of you.
There you go. Infinity Stones,
can't put them
or
in
the
a
ring
gauntlet.
from Lord of the Rings or something else like that. It's just insanely powerful. I mean, if you have one, you're fucking OP. If you have two, get the fuck out of here. If you have all of them, you know, game over sort of thing. Oh, by the way, and it becomes your job to actually get all of them.
Citizens of Azeroth!
That's your job.
Today is the day we turn the tide! Today is the day that we retake our world and send the Legion back to the hell that spawned them! Our path is clear! The Pillars of Creation await on the Broken Isles!
Now, while this is all happening, the Horde and the Alliance are going to different areas throughout the Broken Shore and trying to recruit but also team up with the various factions on that continent. It's broken up into multiple ones. This one just so happens to be Stormheim. If that sounds familiar, it should be, because you're looking at Norse mythology. Yes, there is an Odin. He is pretty much the leader of that faction. Yes, he has a pillar of creation. Yes, we want to get our hands on it. Yes, the Horde and the Alliance both want to get their hands on it. No, they can't work together.
He's also a dick.
He is. Odin is a massive dick, but it is what it is. So what you know of Norse mythology will come in handy in this particular scenario. And there are other ones, but this one just so happens to have a cutscene. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a pretty good scenario, but it is one of many. The Horde and Alliance basically shoot each other down. Alright, to give you context on this scene, you might wonder, what the fuck is happening here? Well, we have Miss Lady Sylvanas Windrunner, and she's got her hands on a lantern. You may be asking, what is this lantern, and does it have anything to do with the lantern from League of Legends that Thresholds? You wouldn't exactly be wrong, because she got this lantern from Helya. As part of the campaign, you basically go to the equivalent of Norse Hell, where there is Helya. And when you walk up to Helya, you see Miss Sylvana standing in front of her, and then she basically walks away with lantern in hand. For you to get out of Norse Hell, you basically have to trick Helya into letting you leave. Whereas Sylvanas just comes and goes as she pleases, and she gets a new fancy toy from Helya. Makes you think, what the fuck is this thing and how incredibly powerful is it? Remember from Sylvanas' story a few weeks back that she uses her Valkyr to sacrifice themselves every time she dies, and she can also use them to raise corpses into the undead. And this particular Vrykul is, I think it's Urya or Elia or whatever it's called. Yeah, go on, Matt.
Valkyr.
Is that it? You just wanted to correct me?
Bicot and Valkyr are two different things.
I know. I said.
Oh,
these
and by the way, about the lantern, so when you're going in there, the thing that this doesn't actually show, when she gets the lantern, she makes a deal with Helya. What is it? We don't know.
No one knows,
They've
but it's
never
not.
explained
It's not
at all. It has never been explained what that deal is.
Not 100%.
All we know is
Matt, it's
some
not
kind of
important.
secret deal. Not even the Horde knows.
Matt, it's not important right now. It has nothing to do with Legion. But she gets the lantern from Helya. These are the Valkyr. Wait, Vrykul. These are the Vrykul, which are basically the Norse angels, as you call them. These are the ones that bring
the Valkyrs.
These are the Valkyrs. I keep getting the two names mixed up. But as you know from Norse mythology, when a warrior falls, you've got these things that come out from heaven. They pick up the souls of the soldier. They bring them up into Odin's hall. Miss Sylvanas comes up with an interesting idea of trying to enslave the leader and, you know, basically forcing them all to serve her. Which means she has significantly more things that she could sacrifice to keep herself alive. That is the significance of this scene. You can basically think of these things as life mushrooms that Super Mario eats every time he dies. That's why they're so important to Sylvanas. Very important.
Treacherous Banshee! You know not what you are meddling with. Submit. The Valkyr are mine.
Sylvanas, your quest for immortality has left you vulnerable. I will have my vengeance for Varian!
It seems I overestimated you. Old wolf.
That is a massive blow to Sylvanas.
By this hammer, I claim this mountain!
That hammer is one of the pillars of creation. It is insanely stupidly powerful.
I will tell you the story of
Each strike
Home
creates a
High
mountain.
For generations, the Tauren of this mountain fought. Countless lives, even entire tribes, were lost. Once, upon returning from such a battle, Huln High Mountain found his people slaughtered by a previously unknown foe. Battling his grief, Huln spoke with the leaders of the remaining tribes. He convinced them to unite under one banner to oppose this new threat. Children of the Deep, rise and crush these Shanronir!
Wasted too much time here. No more!
This is also one of the other zones. You saw High Mountain, which is where you have the High Mountain Tauren. You saw Stormheim, where you have Odin and the rest of his Norse mythology. And this one is the big forest one, which is name I forget, but pretty much as you can see, it is the forest. It's where the druids are, and this place is being corrupted by the Legion. And part of this campaign is to stop them. There we go. And the campaign is to stop them corrupting this forest for multiple reasons. And the big green dragon, as you remember...
It's also the Emerald Nightmare, not the Legion.
Okay, Emerald Nightmare. There. You saw the green dragon, which is Ysera. She's the Dreambinder. She is... You saw her in Cataclysm as one of the 4 dragon aspects that help defeat Deathwing. And she's the one that spends most of her time in the Emerald Dream. The Emerald Dream being this sort of phase in which... pretty much the druids go to during their sleep. It's this whole world. It's basically being corrupted into the Emerald Nightmare.
It's basically... The Emerald Dream is a natural version of Azeroth without all of the... Imagine Azeroth without any human interference. It's the way it's supposed to be.
And basically Ysera likes to spend a lot of time there because she likes to sleep. She's basically my favorite dragon aspect. She gets high all day and just naps.
Cenarius' loss has left Malfurion unable to see reason. Make haste to the World Tree. He may be headed there, all too ready to take reckless risks. Meanwhile, you and I will follow his trail from here. Malfurion must not fall.
and thanks to Malfurion being a triggered little girl, Ysera gets corrupted. GG Malfurion. Is there something you can't ruin?
Malfurion! Where is my beloved?
As you can see, he is cucked.
Duranda Whisperwind, I have longed for this encounter for many years. Your adoring husband will be joining me in the nightmare. His was a special invitation. And our dear Ysera, would you believe she's had a change of heart? She will aid me in my conquest of Val'sharah, starting with your precious Temple of Elune. Such a dilemma, High Priestess. Kneel beside your beloved as he draws his final breath? Or watch the temple of your goddess burn?
Forgive me. It felt so real.
And that is another one of the Pillars of Creation, the Tear of Elune. Yeah. You start getting the Pillars of Creation, but you discover very quickly that...
The cinematic never got easy.
Everything comes at a cost. As you can see, Malfurion's haste got him taken prisoner, which got Ysera killed. Emotion's not a good thing.
Also, we had to do a quest for a bit. He started screaming to Wanda, save me.
I never liked Malfurion.
Azeroth, I pray that this, the final plea of the Army of the Light, has reached you intact. The 1,000 Years' War has reached its peak. But the nightmare is far from over. This vessel represents our ultimate sacrifice. It must reach the Prophet. He is the key. None of us asked for this burden, but it is what fate has deemed. Succeed, and the light may yet endure. Fail, and all worlds will burn.
We will not fail. To rally.
Do not be alarmed, mortal. Your consciousness has been projected to my astral presence in the great dark beyond. I am Zira, one of the first Naru to be forged here during the great ordering of the cosmos. You have come to the crucible of all creation in search of answers. Listen then, and find enlightenment. In a time now long past, a great battle was fought that would determine the fate of all worlds. It was in that final battle that the all-powerful Titan Pantheon fell to one of their own, Sargeras. the fall, none were left to oppose the will of Sargeras. Unfettered, the Dark Titan and his burning legion would go on to annihilate countless worlds in their burning crusade. From the ashes of those ravaged worlds, survivors arose to stand against the demons. They became known as the Army of the Light. But now, the Golden Army teeters upon the precipice of oblivion as their campaign on Argus nears its terminus. Should they fall, the Legion will initiate a new burning crusade, and with it the cosmos will tremble. I am here now on a mission of desperation. I seek the child of light and shadow, the boy destined to end the age of demons. The one called Illidan Stormrage.
"10,000 years ago, my city was radiant. The jewel of the Night Elf Empire. Suramar. Our people prospered for centuries, until the Legion came. Entranced by the power they offered, our queen betrayed us to the ruin of the world. As destruction drew ever closer, a desperate choice was made. To conjure a powerful shield that would save our beloved city. It worked. Centuries passed. Without moonlight. Without sunlight. To survive, we turned to the Nightwell, a font of great power in the city's heart. Slowly, it changed us. And ultimately, drew the Legion once more to our gates. They offered us a trade. The Nightwell for our lives. As the Elders planned their surrender, some of us rebelled. We failed. Now the devils have taken Suramar. And by the curse of the Nightwell, I am damned to wither away. As my city burns.
To give you an example of what these Night Elves, well, former Night Elves are like, they're practically like meth addicts. When they're out of meth, they're basically dead. They're like a baked potato running a computer. They are just fried. And they're just itching and pretty much. And you literally gotta go out into the fields and find crack to bring back to them so they can survive. And every like 2-3 minutes you gotta give them more. They're that burnt out that they need a constant influx of crack to keep on living. Literally. And if they don't get it, they literally wither and die. That's how it works, literally. And here we can see the average-sized Australian spider. 10 feet tall.
A gift fit for a queen. You have my thanks. Now the power of the Arkandor is mine.
Brink of the ley line.
Behold, Suramar, our haven, our sanctuary, our prison. Illidan and the Legion seek to bring us to heel. Through fear, through hunger. The flame of the Sheldarai flickers. We must reignite it. We must stir the noble hearts of my people. You must show them that Azeroth has not forsaken them.
Quick, too long, didn't read version. Ley lines are effectively underground sort of rivers of energy that they could use essentially as a well of crack to eat, to feed on. And this is basically where they're capturing it. So the more points that you connect, the stronger the energy feed here is. And that sort of has enough to pretty much feed a whole community of people. Yeah? Or do you want to call it a river of crack? Because you wouldn't be wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. It's basically underground rivers of mana or highways of mana.
Silence! By order of the Grand Magistrates, you are hereby charged with sedition. You undermine my authority and must pay the price.
I did what I thought was...
I will hear no more. The sentence is death. Proceed.
And here we can see a society if the SJWs ever take over.
Bring the vineyards to heel. I will tolerate no more insubordination.
The Master has been gone for so very long. I anticipate his return in every gust. It's maddening. Whatever is one to do to pass the time. I've gone and made a mess. Now, where was I? Oh yes. Our unannounced visitors. Preparations must be made, for the Master will return to Karazhan soon.
Enough of this weakness, boy! Contain your magic!
Too much power! Father, no!
Our friend lies just in here.
It breaks my heart to see him like this.
Another year of slumber. I wonder if Medivh will ever awaken.
Does our old friend dream? Is he trapped in nightmares?
Now you're ready to oversee the tower's protection in my absence.
Defense protocols activated.
I must remember to shut you down from time to time. Overuse might cause you to become
and erratic.
It couldn't have been helped, you know. We tried to alter it, but it was all part of a larger scheme.
I know. All part of a greater cycle. A cycle that now at last may be broken.
I've left so many fragments of myself throughout this tower.
Medivh.
I will open the way. While you battle that fiend, I will sever the tower's connection to Legion worlds. I suggest we be quick about it.
The demons have been purged from Karazhan. Thank you, champions.
Medivh, you would be a welcome ally in our war against the Legion.
My path leads elsewhere. Besides, Azeroth has found her guardian in you, young trust.
I have made it clear before.
I do not want such power.
You have all the power you will ever need, Khadgar. It is your heart, your courage, that makes you this world's guardian. And a better one than I ever was.
I don't know what to say, Medivh.
Enough sentiment. Hear these words before I depart. It may be simpler to shut a door than to pass through it, but sometimes a step into the unknown is required to break the bonds of fate. There is much that lies ahead for all of us. Farewell.
The bonds of fate. I must consider those words. Until next time, champions.
The Nighthold is the main citadel in Suramar, so you're pretty much just going to attack it with your raid party.
Also, it's my favorite raid in the profession.
Behold this motley throng in which the rebels put their faith. Kaldori, you disgrace a glorious past, hiding in trees and cloaking yourselves in false piety. You have grown as savage as the trolls that skulk about your forests. Quel'Dori, you are peasants playing at nobility, all too willing to mingle with lesser races that dilute your bloodline. You are unworthy of the name High Elves. Sin'dorei. Of all the elves, I thought you might understand the choice I made to save my people. Instead, you ally with misfits and monsters. Each of you has debased your proud lineage. Each of you has forgotten the ancient power that is our birthright. Let this failed rebellion be a lesson to any that would stand against the Shaldorei.
Did anyone notice what happens to Khadgar? Watch. Watch over here. Someone literally grabs Khadgar and carries him away. Watch again. Watch again.
Holy shit.
Watch. You grab him and you carry him away. It's this little shit that I fucking love. And by the way, when you complete Nighthold, you go to...
I never realized that till now.
Yeah. So when you finish Nighthold, you pretty much end up going to the Citadel Tomb of Sargeras. You assault the Tomb of Sargeras. You fight an Echo of Sargeras. You fight Manaroth, who is resurrected. And then you fight Gul'dan on top of the tower. He is trying to resurrect, or at the very least resurrect, the body of Illidan and have it be possessed. But you end up beating him as a boss, and you get this little cutscene.
So what he's trying to do is to take the body of Illidan Thummid and put Sargeras' soul inside it.
Fair enough. Possessing his body. Let us continue.
You have seen what I have seen. You know what we face. Now, mortals, follow me into the abyss.
Champions, your victory at the Nighthold has granted us the key to ending this war. With the pillars of creation assembled, we finally have the power to cut the demons off from our world. Gul'dan failed, and so shall the Legion.
Gul'dan was merely their pawn. Until victory is assured, we must remain vigilant. For the Legion's true masters have yet to reveal themselves. Among them, the monster who hunted my people across the stars. Kill Jaden.
The day I took the fell fire into my veins, I saw my destiny. A grand crusade that would reach the ends of creation. That was the vision you showed me. Our crusade will prevail. Everything we have done has been by your design. And all we have to show for it is failure. Perhaps you lost sight of our destiny. Perhaps I overestimated your resolve. I paid for that destiny with my world. The time has come to see it's done.
This is where his father fell.
The boy has never known the horrors of the Legion, as we have.
No. I haven't.
Anduin.
How could you just leave? I had to come here.
My boy, you don't need to see this.
You never surrendered. Even here, at the very end. I cannot do this, Father. I can't be the hero you were. I can't be the king you were.
Anduin, your father's actions were indeed heroic. They were his challenge to us, his people, to never let fear prevail, even at the very gates of hell.
What am I supposed to do now?
What a king must do.
The cool thing about this little quest is that it became available in the second patch of the expansion. Varian's locket, which held the compass and the photo of Anduin, was found. You actually find it on the Broken Shore, and you go to return it to Anduin, and he asks you to escort him to the Broken Shore. And when you escort him to the Broken Shore, this is the cinematic that plays. But a really cool thing about the cinematic that I absolutely love is that you've got Gen. He's lost his son to Sylvanas. And then you've got Anduin, who's lost his father to the war. You've got a very unique relationship here because Gen effectively not only became allies, but he became a close friend of Varian. He's effectively not only an ally and an advisor, but he's a little bit of a father figure to Anduin at this point. And you've also got Anduin that's a little bit of like a son to him at the same time. And what's very interesting is when he gets the sword from Gen, for a moment, he sort of sees his father giving him the sword, not the person in front of him, which I think is a really cool little detail. And it's a great point in the story because up until this point, Anduin's been nothing but cannon fodder. In vanilla classic Warcraft, he's a child. He's effectively the sitting prince sitting in the keep, and he's effectively getting manipulated by one of his advisors, who turns out to be Onyxia, one of the main antagonists and bosses in World of Warcraft Classic. He is a child, so you can't blame him for it. And up until that point, he's been kidnapped. He's just a pain. He's just a burden. He's doing absolutely nothing. His father's basically dead at this point, and the Alliance is weakened as a result. They've lost their leader, the person they rally behind. And his son, Anduin, the Crown Prince, is obviously going to take that seat and that mantle, but he's still a boy. He doesn't have courage. He doesn't believe in himself. He doesn't have that, I don't want to say drive, but he doesn't have that confidence because he's never really had to do anything. He's been very well protected, and so he's very vulnerable. So this cutscene was very refreshing for a lot of people because it really elevates him up. He effectively, they say that it's the point in the story where his balls drop. Go on.
Okay, so one of the things that also skipped on is when you do the quest, and when first it's a 2-day quest. You have to do it one day, and then the next day you come back for the second part of the quest, which is this. But the day one, he wants you to look around. He wants to go around. Actually, on day 2, you go to him after the sun unlock, and then he's like, I want to go. He put the disguise on, which is the. Then he starts walking around town to see what people think of him, and people look up to his father as the hero, but they don't trust him yet. They don't think he can. They don't know if he can lead, and they can hear the hesitation in people's voices, and it gets to him, and that's when he's like, I have to go to where all the heroes died, where my father died, and it's an amazing because, and there's a ton of memes. I know Kuma loves memes, but there's a ton of memes about Disappointed became a man. He's balls dropped, but in literally more ways than one, Disappointed truly became a man. He picked up a sword and decided what his father told him.
You gotta realize. You got to realize also up until this point, you had Arthas who as a child was trained in combat by Muradin when his father found out that he couldn't swing a sword to save his life. And so as to not embarrass the kingdom, he's like, son, you have to train because you fight like a little girl. Not insulting girls, I know plenty of them that could probably kick my ass, but like at the time, he was shit. And then you've got Varian, who's a wartime hero. He's an absolute brawler. You know, he's a manly man. And then you've got...
He's an arena champion.
Well, not willingly, but yes, when he's got a very interesting story. He was taken prisoner and effectively forced to fight in the arena, which is how he made friends with one of his bodyguards, which is...
Valera.
Yeah, Valera, who's a blood elf, believe it or not, but she actually teaches Anduin how to throw daggers. Very interesting story. Highly recommend you look into it. Let's not go into that one. But you've got his son that chooses to pursue the path of a priest. So you've got his father that's a hardcore warrior, swings a massive sword, and his son's like, I want to be a priest. Okay? And he's preaching the path of peace. He's preaching mercy. He's preaching cooperation. And his father's on the polar opposite of kill all your enemies. His son's like, make peace with your enemies. And in the opening trailer for Warlords of Draenor, you hear what Varian says. It says, I believe that peace is the most noble aspiration, but you have to be willing to fight for it. So he starts to, take on his son's point of view. But at the same time, Anduin needs to realize that, yeah, you want peace, which is great, but you have to be able to make it. There's some people that you can't negotiate with, which is a realization that he obviously had to come to himself, but no one could do it for him.
Two things, and just some two things about this. One, there's a line in here that Varian looks to Anduin and says, when Anduin says, what am I supposed to do now? And he looks at him and says, what a king must do. That is a throwback to Siege of Orgrimmar when he was about to march to the Horde, and Anduin said, Father, what are you doing? Because he brought all his guards with him. And he says, what a king must do. Second thing, if you look at the sword, it glows yellow with the holy light. Varian's sword glows red. It is theorized that the sword's glow changes color depending on whether the person.
It's very possible, and it can also be symbolic that when the light died out, when Varian died, it's pretty much the sword deactivates. But the sword is now reactivated with the energy of his son, which sort of means that, yes, he is the heir to his father's legacy. No, he's not the same as his father, but he's 100% the heir. So, this cinematic can be interpreted so many ways, but it's a very nice thing. And it's a completely optional one, too. The story doesn't force you to see it either. That's what makes it so cool. Now, I'm just gonna go back a little bit again so you guys can take it all in and appreciate it. But it's a really good cinematic. I really like it.
I'm heading out. Come on.
All right, cool. I'll catch you later.
I'm awesome.
Yeah, cool. All right, continuing on.
Here. This is where his father fell.
The boy has never known the horrors of the Legion, as we have.
No. I haven't.
Anduin.
How could you just leave? I had to come here.
My boy, you don't need to see this.
You never surrendered. Even here, at the very end. I cannot do this, Father. I can't be the hero you were. I can't be the king you were.
Anduin, your father's actions were indeed heroic. They were his challenge to us, his people, to never let fear prevail, even at the very gates of hell.
What am I supposed to do now?
What a king must do.
And this is effectively the raid that follows opening up the portal, because this is Kill Jaden's ship. After you defeat him, of course.
Argus will be your tomb.
At least we will have died fighting.
Our war isn't over yet. Not while we hold the key to all worlds. Cata, take us home! I was always envious of you. Your gift, your faith, your vision. I never believed that Sargeras could be stopped. Perhaps you will prove me wrong.
Everyone, get ready!
Is everyone all right?
What have you done? Sometimes the hand of fate must be forced.
Illidan effectively opened the portal to Argus. And it's getting bigger. So, Argus is literally like this distance from Azeroth to the moon. Even less, probably.
All forces are on board and accounted for. The Vindicar will be ready to depart shortly.
After we reach Argus, we will meet with the army of the light and begin our invasion.
Does he understand what you're truly asking of him? Do any of them?
We follow the path of the light, no matter where it leads.
Your faith has always been your weakness. When your closest allies fell to darkness, you didn't stop them. When the Legion swept over your world and took your people, you didn't make a stand. All you did was watch, convinced you were following the light's will. The truth is, you failed your people. Their blood is on your hands.
You will never understand what I did to save my people.
The light is holding you back. It's time to forge your own path.
Prophet, we are ready.
Proceed.
It also responds to Popo.
Where is your army of the light?
The Zenadar. Something is wrong.
The cowards have come out of hiding. Bring them down! The Legion will fire again soon! What are your orders, Prophet?
We make our stand. The last battle for Argus has begun.
What follows is a rescue mission. You effectively have to push to that other ship and try to recover what you can from it.
Illidan should already be there, weakening their positions.
Fire the gun! For Argus! For our people!
By the way, that is Tyrellian, who was missing since the Second War. And that's also Sylvanas' sister. She was also missing. So they pretty much crossed the portal into Argus to close it from the demon side to prevent them from coming into Azeroth.
Blessed to be in your presence once more, Zira.
Tyrellian, you have found the Chosen One. Illidan, from birth, the light in your eyes held such promise for the future.
sacrificed that birthright long ago.
Do you not wish to reclaim what was lost? To be whole again?
The Legion's end is all I seek.
My child, you've given so much for so little. Your true potential, your redemption, lies before you. Let go of your shattered form and embrace the light's power.
I've traded my freedom for power before.
The prophecy must be fulfilled. Your old life has passed. The light will forge you a new one.
It is not yours to take.
The light will heal your scars.
I am my scars!
The light is your destiny.
My destiny is my own! You've doomed us all! Betrayer! Your faith has blinded you. There can be no chosen one. Only we can save ourselves. What is your bidding, Master?
The circle nears completion. The mortals must not disrupt the rebirth.
Those who will not serve shall be destroyed. It is the only way.
Become the instrument of my wrath once again, Agramar. End this incursion of the light.
The darkened Naru pulses with void energy. It has become a beacon, calling those who would use this power for their own ends.
The hour of rebirth draws near. Are the souls prepared?
Our kin still resist the true path, Master. But they will soon be broken.
One still eludes us. Her essence is needed to ensure the victory of my crusade. The Lifebinder will soon reveal herself. She will not escape me, Master. When my new pantheon rises, no power in the universe will stand against the Legion.
I remember the awakening. How life sprang forth all around us. I remember unity, until it was shattered by betrayal. I remember fleeing to keep him from his prize. The time for hiding is over. Aid me, or everything ends.
All right, everybody! Hold on!
So long as Sargeras has the soul of Argus to fuel his infinite army.
The seat of the Pantheon!
That which you have stolen will be your undoing. Rise, Argus. Rise, my broken world.
Mortals, the time has come to fight for the fate of your world.
You effectively fight Argus, which is one of the Titans.
End it all!
No! After all we have endured, it must not end this way!
Hope is not lost, High Father. The spark of life still flickers within these mortals. Arise, champions! Fight to save your world!
You have done well, mortals.
It is time.
We must gather our strength. Return home, children of Azeroth.
Illidan, we've done all we can.
Every choice, every sacrifice has led me to this moment. To face him once again.
You are not coming with us.
The hunter is nothing without the hunt. Did you not see this fate, Prophet?
Fate? Our survival was never in fate's hands. Light be with you, Illidan Stormwraith.
Brother, your crusade is over!
just wanted to share, there's a really cool video someone made about this particular moment. Let me get it up for you guys. It's actually freaking amazing, which is why I want to share it with you guys. It's pretty much what would happen if you were pretty much standing there at that moment. Let me get that video up for you. Hopefully it does not lag. It's a really nice animation. Really nice. I thought it was amazing the first time I saw it. You can watch it in full HD, but I'm watching it in 1080p. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. And that is pretty much the climax of the expansion. He stabs the entire planet with a goddamn sword. Really cool credits with a Lord of the Rings song, which would probably get a copyright strike. But it is what it is. I'll have to edit that part out. And the epilogue.
Warchief, if I may offer a few words. It is with both pain and pride that we gather here today. Pain, for many brave heroes of the Horde fell against a terrible foe. And pride, for against all odds, we have vanquished the Legion. We bled. Now we heal. We mourned. Now we celebrate. For the Horde! For the
Horde! Warchief! A moment of your time.
No doubt Gallywix wants to push his latest money-grubbing scheme. Rats scurry about their business. And get eaten if they're not careful. does keep sending more goblins to Silithus.
Nothing good has ever come out of Silithus.
This will change everything.
I told you!
And the Alliance knows nothing of this?
Don't worry, Warchief. I got people on it.
Like many of you, I know firsthand the pain of loss. My father, King Varian Rin, gave his life to save his people. He knew that no one, not even a king, is more important than the Alliance. And because he and so many others had the courage to make that sacrifice, we did the impossible. We defeated the Burning Legion.
Spymaster Shaw. Back so soon?
But by living our lives, our joy,
I need to speak with him.
these are the gifts of the fallen.
Now.
And we must cherish and celebrate them. For the Alliance!
We've observed an unusually large cluster of goblins in Silithus, and the numbers are increasing.
Goblins aren't the most charming people, but they do things for a reason.
And those reasons usually involve money.
So, the Horde has found something valuable then.
They have indeed. This.
What is this?
We don't know.
It would seem the Horde does, and we must find out more.
Agreed. We have eyes on it.
It's Azerite. It is effectively the blood of the planets. And the Horde got their hands on it. And what happens a little time later, which we will explore next week, is the battle for Azeroth. Let's watch the trailer really quickly, and then we'll wrap it up and we'll watch Battle for Azeroth next week.
Ours is a cycle of hatred. Alliances forged and broken. We have paid the price for sharing this world. And we have forgotten what makes us strong.
Close ranks! Advance has won! Lordaeron will be ours!
My king, we have her cornered.
Keep firing!
Well, thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed. Next week, we're doing Battle for Azeroth, and the way I timed it was the week after Shadowlands was supposed to release, but it's been delayed. But, you know, that gives us a few weeks in between to do stuff, whether it be the pre-launch events, which are going to be on the live servers, or exploring the stories of any other characters you guys might be interested in. But Battle for Azeroth is going to be awesome because, like I say, every expansion, they get better with the music, they get better with the CGI, they get better with the animations, and the story is really good. I really enjoyed it, and then there's going to be a lot of theory crafting as to what happens in Shadowlands, and at that point we're all going to be in the same boat because we don't know what happens in Shadowlands yet, so it's going to be pretty much all speculation, all discussion, and that's where it really gets fun, because we can start discussing things without having to worry about spoiling something for someone. Fortunately enough, we've been able to go through this entire storyline thus far without any big spoilers being dropped, and I'm hoping you guys have enjoyed it. I've loved going through it again because it's been a while since I've played these expansions, so for me, it's reliving, and I'm also able to nitpick these little things I might have missed the first time. Whereas for a lot of people, when they're watching it for the first time, it really helps to have a little bit of that context. And I'm sure any of the existing Warcraft players that are watching are hopefully enjoying this as much as I am. Without keeping you any longer, thanks for coming. I hope you had a blast. If you're on Twitch, I hope you're following us with the notifications enabled. We are going to be alive again tomorrow, but if you enable your notifications, you'll get a little notification every time we are live. If you're on YouTube, I highly recommend you also follow us on Twitch, but also make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, as well as Discord, because that's where we hang out when we're not live streaming. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being awesome. Until next time, Ninja Kuma out. Bye.
Play of the game.